Yeah. But we're back. Happy New Year, guys. I know it's been a while since I've been back with you guys. I really hope y'all have had a blessed and abundant holiday season and New Year, because there's a whole nother season, a whole new cast, a whole new city of people.
Men going crazy.
I'm so excited, and I'm super excited to have my really good friend Fallon. If y'all follow me, y'all definitely seen her on my Instagram. She's definitely been in some of my content for sure. She's created some of my content that I share with you guys. She's an amazing journalist and photographer here in the city of Atlanta.
Thank you.
And just an amazing creative overall.
Amazing or recognized as amazing. Okay.
Yes. Well, I always say iron sharpens iron, and she's definitely iron through and through. So, so happy for you to be here with me today.
I'm glad you allowed me to, pop up, because I was blowing up your phone.
Yeah,
talking about the show. I was like, girl,
come on.
I was like, you might as well come on the show. And I was like, you know what? I might as well. So thank you.
Thank you, and cheers.
Cheers
to all the
content and the craziness of the show.
Yes.
Cheers to, Cheers to Megan Fox.
How about that? Cheers. Cheers, Megan. It's nice.
This is nice. It's smooth.
Do you like it?
I do like it. I don't mind it.
I like that.
I'm going to be sipping and tripping.
Sipping and tripping about the show.
Because Jimmy was tripping. That's why.
We're like, I got my notes, y'all. Then pull out my handy dandy notebook, But let's jump right in, to first episode. Because the first part that they dropped, for people that haven't watched yet, they dropped 6 episodes on Valentine's Day. And a lot of people were maybe valentining or working or doing other things.
So it hadn't hit the fan.
Right. But as we've gotten into the weekend, I've been seeing more and more
things. It's been crazy.
As people have been able to catch up and watch. And we're very much in the weekend right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will be up next week, early, right before the next batch of episodes. So you guys can watch this, and then go watch part 2 in that order.
And leave your comments about what you think about what we're saying. What are your takeaways about it? Because you definitely gonna have some takeaways.
Yes. I really want to hear more people's thoughts from this. So definitely leave comments and definitely chime in as we go forward. But jumping right in to episode 1. First of all, the way they've I know you're kind of new to watching Love is Blind, but you have kind of watched and kind of caught up at this point.
Yeah.
And I see, we used to move so slow in Love is Blind. You actually get a chance to kind of spend more time with the people. And now it's, so abbreviated in, those first couple of... The pods are open, and, we're meeting
even
all
when
of
we
these
just starting
members.
to watch it, it was it wasn't a extended period of time of showing all the different people in the pods. It was pretty much okay, we already sort of narrowed down who are we going to be following,
right?
Which I was surprised, because I was there was 11,000 people in those suites,
in the women's quarters,
So there was a whole gaggle of folks that we didn't even see.
First of all, after that first episode, some of those folks were never faunted or seen again. And faunted, when you see their name,
when you never saw their name, their job. Shout out to their jobs, because everybody on the show job was jobbing. I said, let me look to see. Let me look to see. I had to find out where they were filming at. So they're in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes,
which is, I heard, is a great city for young
city.
Millennials or career people.
Yeah,
a great place to do family, start a family. I heard it's Atlanta, before Atlanta got
Atlanta. Yeah, or maybe Huntsville.
Oh yeah. Just a great place, especially and I hear they do have good tech jobs and stuff there, which makes sense, because almost everybody was tech sales. Yeah, some type of executive assistant, software sales.
Jimmy, I could tell. First of all,
child.
Okay, we're not gonna. Okay,
child.
Jimmy with the juice. We're gonna get all into Jimmy with the juice.
Jimmy Jam.
Jimmy Jazz.
Jimmy Jazz.
The shoes. But
listen, Jazzy Faye got on here thinking he was hot. Hot stuff. Jazzy Faye was like, I'm in here. I got my style.
I'm not gonna get too deep in the weeds. Software sales. Like, tell me you make some money without telling me you make some money.
Software sales. I said, that's what I like to see. I need to get into the cloud.
Very quiet. I could tell he wasn't really like Matthew. Matthew was very, I'm a finance wealth manager.
First of all,
I help very, very rich people sort through their finances. So I'm
Matthew with
result very rich.
Child, it's Matthew with like, and I got multiple questions.
Please pick a number between 1 and 14.
You asked me a question. I was not ready for.
I'm gonna get up and walk out.
Can I compute?
No,
it was so. I was ready for him to walk out on 80, and then he was like talking up a storm. I said, Matthew. I said, who is this man? How about who this man? Who this fuck? Because the way he was like,
I was waiting on him, the sarcasm or the cynicism or something.
Yeah,
I was waiting.
I just thought he was. I don't know, like him being shy with the dudes. I wasn't like, okay, people be different personalities. Right. And then, he is what was he, like accountant or something? He was like
finance wealth manager.
Yeah, finance
or something. Or
it was giving very stereotypical.
I might be messing it up.
Yeah, he was like a finance wealth manager.
But it's like something with money. One of those hedge fundy guys.
And it was either way. He was very stereotypical, like
straight edge.
I'm computing stuff. I got these questions off my data sheet that I'm going to read to you. My spreadsheet.
Right. So pick a number.
Now,
then did you see when he was in there with Amber and he was like, well, quite a few people have already picked that question. So
you need to pick another one. I said, oh, Lord. I thought it was going to go south. He was like, I'm tired of these questions.
Oh, my God.
I want you to pick something else.
I was just like, but you made the list, sir.
You can't help caveats on the thing, child.
Why would you even do that? Like, you can't even. But
he was.
You can manage people's millions, but you cannot hold a conversation.
But that's how he was. But you think about it. That's how he's managing conversation by. Let me have my spreadsheet. Now, my spreadsheet.
Because this is what I do at work.
This is what I do at work.
Yeah.
And so, the fact that he was not ready for a question to be asked towards him, he was just like,
excuse me?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? I was like, wait a minute. The audacity.
But no, like the first couple episodes were just like getting off all the way into it. Like, I feel like we can immediately tell who the standouts are gonna be, like immediately, and I feel like they frame it like that because it saves us time. It's like wondering
they definitely did it faster this season. Like it was just immediately knew who to follow. I was like 30 minutes in. I was like, is this one, this one?
Even in the first season, in the first couple of seasons of Love Is Blind, they kind of gave the people, like the general people in the pods as they were still beginning dating. Yeah, like they gave them confessional time. They got a chance to sit before us.
We didn't see not one person that wasn't relevant. Who wasn't relevant. Like there was like at least
there was
other black girls.
Right, Danielle was one. She was really pretty, and then the other girl who was talking to AD a lot, she was really pretty.
Girl,
and we even saw her go in the pods a few times.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we never. And then there was like 2 or 3 other black dudes and I only saying the black people because I'm rooting for everybody black. But shout out to Issa Rae. But that's the ones that stood out because. We're rooting for everybody black. But there's also a gaggle of non-black people that we didn't see. Like the other people too. Like there seemed like to be so many people.
Or there were people we would only see in the pods. And they would be talking to like Jessica and Laura and AD. Like we would only see them in the women's quarters or in the men's quarters.
Oh yeah.
Like with some of the other black men. Like
when they were helping each other.
Yes, they were like talking to
each other.
Like the guy who bust his pants in a date.
Yeah, because I was that Clayco? I mean,
no, that was not Clayco.
Okay, because I was like,
another dark skinned man.
I was like, well, where did this man go?
There was 2 of them, and then there was one guy with facial hair. He actually dated Chelsea, and we saw a little clip of their date, but they didn't spend too much time on it. But he was also a guy that was chatting with Clay.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was like they were supporting characters too. Everybody has to play the role, I guess. And that's what it was.
They're gonna come back, like like Love Is Blind is gonna do like the follow up where all the cast members come back, and that's when the mess starts, right? So
the mess was already messy.
Right, because I know they got a group chat or something. You know, the men's quarters probably got several group chats.
The fact that everybody was like, Matthew was the sleeper cell.
The sleeper, like the sleeper spy.
He was like, oh, hell.
He was the sleeper.
He was so disgusted.
He was like
offended.
He was offended.
He was offended. He was like, how can you even compare the two? I'm Clayton, okay?
Do you know that I'm Clay?
Do you know that I'm Clay?
Do you know that I have accolades and I look damn good and I make all this money?
I'm out here popping.
And I'm popping. I'm a 10.
I'm a 10.
10, 10, 10s across the board.
10, 10, 10s on hardwood floors. But no, the fact that I said, ooh, child, I was worried about Clay because when he admitted that he was already like insecure about not being able to show
doubting
his looks,
himself because
he couldn't show his finances, he couldn't show his looks. He's so used to being able to put it on, so he was nervous and insecure. But I was like, kudos to him for admitting it,
right?
I was like,
he was a nerd back in the day.
Oh, I missed that.
Yes, girl. I actually rewatched.
I
actually rewatched because I'm a little ADHD, so I had to go back and rewatch
that might be
episodes.
No. I mean, that might be telling because like. If you built yourself up to be this new person, like you know,
but at least
you became the butterfly.
Though, but that almost might be problematic because if he is smart, if he is very intelligent, then he is able to carry himself like in a way, you know, where he's been able to impress people with not only like a brain, but also when he fixes looks up and stuff, he's just like, oh yeah, I know I got it now. Like I'm everything.
Yeah, like I'm surprised.
What can you say about me? My accolades.
My
accolades. Here's my Oscar right here. Here's my Emmy. Also, and then here's my award for just being me. Oh my God. I feel like Clay is definitely the person to be in his very expensive condo or house or whatever he has. And he's just showing you this wall of
himself,
awards.
Of himself.
And like, pictures of himself. This is me in Maui.
This is me
in Peru 2 years ago.
This is me butt naked. I just, your body's your temple.
Right,
so.
Your body is your temple, and I love my body. I had a sculpture made right here of the actual size of my body in my living room right here. And as you can see, this is my actual penis here that's also carved out. I was just like, is it giving BDE for Clay though? I don't know. I feel like it could be anything.
No,
it could be anybody.
I feel like when people associate, for those of you that don't know, big.
I'm gonna bleep it out.
When they have that big D energy,
right?
I feel like that's not what he's giving.
Yeah,
that's what Jimmy was giving.
That's what Jimmy was.
Jimmy was quiet.
Yeah.
When you're out here,
and Trevor. Trevor also gave that.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Trevor.
That's a big old
Hulk. I call him Hulk or a Marvel superhero. Either way it goes.
Big old thick.
He's got like the face of like Chris Evans and like somebody else.
And he don't skip leg day.
He don't skip no day.
He don't skip no day. That body was.
He said that was the first thing he said. He's really into fitness.
I said, well, I'll be your witness because that body is body to body. I said, ooh,
Jesus. It's like all the women was probably looking at Trevor like, God dang. And all the men were looking at AD like, God dang.
First of all, AD.
all day. Body all day.
It stands for body all day. It stands
all
for
day.
ass all day. It stands for
all day.
All day.
All that.
All that.
She's all that.
In a bag of chips with a side of dip, and she can take some trips because that body is.
What did she say? Oh, I'm not gonna give you that. I'm 5'5", thick thighs, brown eyes. I'm not gonna do that for you.
Sarah, come on. She better be cool with you too. Miss Someone's at home crying out loud. She said, thick thighs, fat brown.
Yes. I was like, where did that come from? I knew you would know.
Brown eyes. So I was giving you some. What was it? Trinity or whatever it was called? City High.
Okay, yeah, I knew you were gonna know because I didn't know.
I said, okay, girl.
But back it up just a little bit because I did make my little notes and then we gonna just freestyle the rest of it. But when Nick and Vanessa came out to start talking to the men and the women, they split it up in editing. They went to each one individually. And when they're talking, when Jess starts talking, Jessica,
okay,
the lady with the child, and she starts talking about how that's her biggest concern. She has a child. I felt like immediately Vanessa kind of had like a little attitude, and she was like, "Oh, and what was your name? Like, girl, aren't you the host of this show?" It was giving. She
First
was
of
like,
all, you know what? Now I need to rewatch that because it wouldn't be beyond her to have a tooth because she's notorious to be on the show for the tooth.
She's like young and beautiful and a brunette.
Oh my god. I don't know.
But Nick has also been partial to blondes in the past, as we know.
Child, as we know, chicken of the sea. Could have fooled me. I would have been the same way.
I'm like, dang. It's like she saw lip injections and a boob job, and she was like, oh,
possibly, you know, because I feel like one thing is,
who are you?
Her hosting skills is not. It's not something that's like surprising that she be catching twos because there was like a whole like people were trying to get them off of the. Trying to
That's
get
not
them.
Gonna happen.
No. But I'm just saying, like people were writing like stuff to say like, you know, we want a different type of host, and so if she had a little too, I mean, she really does put it out there. How she feels about somebody is not no secret. So.
Now I will say, I think she has been working on it from the last reunion.
Right.
Jumping in though, like with some of the people that had like initial connections, like what connections like stood out to you in the beginning in the pods? Like were you like, okay, I gotta feel this.
Honestly, it was Chelsea and Trevor. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, look at these two little weirdos.
Girl, especially with the mullet thing.
The mullet. I just knew they were in love.
She was just like, I just imagine a very large man. And he's like laying on the floor, a very large man, taking up all of that floor.
Child, he taking up the floor. He
taking up
the
all
couch.
that carpet.
Them thighs could.
Those big legs lay across the ottoman. He was like,
He said, wow.
He was like,
sensational.
And then he's so stupid. And then she was like, yeah, but you might surprise me and have like a mullet or something.
And he got so excited.
Like, can you see through this wall? Like,
he's like, girl, don't you make me bust through this wall like the Kool-Aid man.
I swear he could.
He could.
With his thighs alone.
Thighs. Big thighs do save lives. Amen.
But also for me, initial spark and connection this season was definitely Jimmy and Jessica.
Yeah, they seemed super cute. Like, she was, you know, being sincere. It seemed like it's definitely a spark there. It definitely seemed like there was a spark. They seemed natural because he wasn't really. He didn't seem like he was like holding back at first,
but he wasn't really pouring out.
No, but it just seemed like they were just flowing, like from what, you know, because they're gonna be like editing,
right?
But
it still felt like they had a very natural spark, and they were able to kind of communicate easily, naturally.
Yeah. It was a realness to them. They actually liked each other until.
But Jess is more direct. You know, Jimmy did mention like Jess was more direct than a lot of girls that he's dated in the past.
That's because Jimmy ain't direct. Okay, Jimmy,
he likes a more timid girl that ain't gonna say nothing because he ain't gonna say nothing either.
Jimmy's still trying to play games. That's what it is.
Do you think he's ready for marriage?
Hell no.
I don't think he's ready for marriage, and I don't think Clay is ready for marriage, unfortunately.
Clay was like, what did I just learned about marriage yesterday?
Wait, so I get a ring too? No, that tripped me out. He was like, wait, no, so I get a ring?
No, wait,
no,
wait.
But do it have to have diamonds on it? I don't want diamonds on it, babe.
So
he was like, no, babe, like you get a band.
He was like, bands will make her dance. Are you talking about that? The way he was just so like unaware, and I'm like, this is a major decision. You're on this show for this major decision, and for you to be like, so now what happened now? No, you walk me.
So you wear a white dress.
And I gotta walk down. Do I walk or do I crawl?
Do I walk with you?
Child.
Or
but it was like,
do you meet me there?
It was something sincere, some sincerity to him that it was refreshing. It was just so funny.
He was being for real.
He was being for real, but like, you know, I will say, listen. He said some crazy stuff during these episodes. But I will give him.
If you don't tell me what you look like,
child,
I'm gonna leave you right here.
He's like, I'm not marrying anybody, bro.
I'm gonna leave you right here.
This is what the show's called. Love is Blind. And you're like,
I love how
if I can't see you, I'm not doing this.
I love how AD turned it around. Like, how are we supposed to be talking about appearances on a show where we're not supposed to be talking about?
Because he was like, but I'm not gonna. I mean, if I don't see you or know what you look like, how can I marry you?
How can I propose? I'm not gonna be able to propose without
sir, senor.
That's your business, sir.
Where are you? Do you think you're in a closet? What do you
But
think?
he's definitely giving, the first couple episodes also was definitely giving Jessica's like fairy tale. Because wasn't she really like kind of falling for Jimmy like rather quickly in the beginning?
Well, I mean, because she's like, because when you think about it, she only dated him. Like, that's all we saw.
I don't think
we see her with somebody. Like,
I didn't see her.
Of course, she probably did, of course, have to talk to other stuff, but the way they cut that thing, they said, listen, they said, we got to speed this up.
They got to go.
These people are about to talk cash crazy.
Right. And y'all need to have automatic.
Y'all need to see, y'all just need to see what you need to see so y'all can jump forward because we're trying to get these episodes off. But no, yeah, when I think about it, she didn't have anybody, like, it's so crazy because last season, there were several people that were in between. But this season, there was only like Jimmy was in between and Chelsea was in between.
Yeah, and like Trevor, we really didn't see a lot of other girls he was dating.
He was just like, I'm about Chelsea.
Right. He was like, day one, I think it's Chelsea. And it's something so powerful about that. Like Chelsea, okay, because we're kind of hopping all the way around. But I want to finish this up and then we can kind of structure. But Chelsea was so adamant about, oh, guys have always been mean to me, and I just really want to be chosen, and I just really want to be loved. And I'm not mimicking her and trying to like be mean or anything, but how can you truly like have went through that, and then you turn around and you pick the guy who literally was not sure about you. You picked the main one who was not sure about you instead of the main one who been about you and was still about you.
He was been and he's still been.
Like I was like, whoa. But, like my heart hurts for Trevor. Because he's such a big teddy bear.
I said this big old thick fine.
This big old teddy bear. He's just like,
I was like, I will say this. One thing that I have learned about this show, the couple seasons that I watched, I think this might be just the second season that I watched. It's so crazy to see how people's attachment styles show up, even with even with nothing
because
on, like
Chelsea attached herself to Jimmy.
On, like nothing. It's so crazy. Like I know, Ms. Kelvin say she always talks about like different attachment styles and pushing and pulling, and it's so crazy that even with them not being able to see each other, they still have the trauma and still have the same cycles as they've done, like even if they've been in like even like the high schoolness, because like last year I feel like it was very high school where I can't remember the girl's name, she just had like a lot of blush. Whew. But she was like playing with Uche. Was it Uche?
Lydia? No, Lydia was the actual ex.
No, but the white girl with the blush. No, yeah. Because she was like wanting, I think, Uche to really make a decision, but she ended up choosing the boy that didn't have no job and didn't have no money. Remember, old boy? And he was married to the family, like he was going to, because her family was wealthy.
Girl, I'm having a brain fart from that last season.
Either way.
Too much.
Either way, basically, what I'm getting at is that how even whether it's your attachment styles or just like how high school still plays a big part if you're not healed, because Chelsea, she said that she wanted somebody to be about her. She'd never been chosen. This man finally is choosing her. He's verbally talking to her, choosing her. He's affirming her. He is doing all the emotional intelligence work with her. Meanwhile, Jazzy Faye Jimmy Jazzy Faye Jam is over here like, you know, yeah, you're funny, you're cool or whatever, but he's not really making any declarations.
It'll be like very indirect. Like when she was over there crying and she's like, yeah, you're not going to like everybody and that's okay or something to that effect. And he was like, that's the exact opposite of what I'm trying to tell you. It's like he was trying to tell her,
and she was beyond, like she was just
really liked her. But it's like
I think her insecurity took over by that part.
Girl, Chelsea cried so much in these first 6 episodes. I don't know if I can take it.
I felt bad. I don't know how much more I can take. Megan Fox is going through it.
Megan Fox is going through.
I said, Megan Fox, Beyonce. I said, okay,
Drake.
Who said that? Who said that? Who this for? Because that's what Jimmy.
No, Rallo. Who this for?
Listen.
Who this for?
Because when Jimmy walked out of there and she came running over there, I said, "Girl, if you don't get,"
and she said exactly right. She was running like a T-Rex.
I said, "You're giving him a visual.
You're giving him
a child." When she was running over there and he was looking like, "Who this for?" Because he said, "It's not Megan Fox. It's Megan not." Okay, Megan, you are not. I said, girl, why would she? That's the only.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Because the girl is not ugly.
No.
But there is now Megan Fox. When people think of Megan Fox,
right? They're thinking
about their maximum 100. They're thinking about the body. They're thinking about
Jennifer's body.
All the bodies, all the Transformer girl. And
right.
You can't say that and then try to put it back. Talking about it's just because I have dark hair.
You cannot because you already put that out there to a man.
That's like saying, crack rocks, but it's only because.
Right.
Officer, I just watched, I just watched Power one time. The police gonna say, they gonna hear crack rock.
Right.
They're gonna hear, you got the crack rock. So the fact that you're I was like, girl, you did yourself no service.
Yes.
No help. And I was like,
yeah.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10 for Megan Fox, she's probably like a 0.5. Because of there are moments, there's her eyes, there's all little features that little glimpse, a little something. But I know
her face
shape. Her facial shape, there's certain little things. But I said, girl, you did yourself no service. And as soon as she said that, and I told my mama, because we was watching it and we were getting our lives. I said, Lord Jesus. It's like when old girl and Friday, when he was when Smokey was like, ooh, tell me what you look like. And she's like,
people say I look like Janet Jackson.
Right. You look like
and he was like, Janet Jackson, more like Freddie Jackson. Exactly.
Ooh, yeah.
Right. I said, well, hell no. I
Jackson now why am I in it?
Right. Freddie's like, how did I get here?
How did I get here? But I think that's what I feel like, going back to what you said in the beginning, Jimmy and Jessica had a real connection. So much so that he slipped up and said, I'm so glad I chose Jessica.
Jessica, he said it twice.
Yeah, he said
Jessica.
Chelsea.
There you go.
Right.
Gotcha.
Because when I tell you, I never had to rewind so many parts of an episode of anything because
why?
Girl, I said Jimmy Jam, he can't let go. He's thinking he did a tiger fist pump when he found out when she said Megan Fox. He was like, oh yes, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and what you also spoke to, what we spoke about earlier is when you were saying your mom probably thought, your mom's point of view was Jimmy probably was thinking Jessica might not have been the prettiest or the cutest because she did have insecurities. Kid. Well, she had the kid, but then she was also talking about who do you follow on Instagram? Yeah. Which was giving very ugly girl. I'm sorry, Jess. You're not ugly. Everybody knows you're not ugly. We saw your beautiful face all over Netflix. But it was giving ugly girl. I see what you were doing. Yeah. And I see what you were saying trying to get across. And I definitely understand how, a dude will have a bad. I really don't feel if it was anybody, I don't feel like it would have been Jimmy. And I also feel like
No, it wouldn't have been Jimmy because Jimmy showed his whole ass looking at AD's ass when they went on the little vacation. So
but again, look, what did he say? Oh, I don't follow people I don't know. So he was like, oh, I follow AD,
He said,
he probably said, all
because she is stacked. I said, sir. Who? Like you said, you thought he was talking to his boys because you wasn't looking at the screen.
I was in the kitchen doing something and listening, and I heard him, and I was like, oh, he having a side conversation. It's about to get good. I said, oh.
Not he talking to Chelsea. Insecure because you have, first of all,
who's been asking you since y'all got together?
Are you happy with the choice you made? Are you happy with the choice you
still
made?
love me?
Do you still love me?
Are you sure?
Are you happy to be in Paris?
Are you happy to be in Paris? Like, I was definitely thinking about that. I was thinking about that partition.
I was like,
are you happy to be in Paris?
Like, oh my gosh. So, to my mom's credit, she did say, because again, Jimmy was super like thrown off when Jessica said she has a child. I understand why
Which is also, he tried to, real quick, I just wanted to make that little note. Jimmy was like, oh, why you didn't tell me before now? And then Jessica kind of gave her explanation. Like,
he was like, yeah, I wouldn't have.
He kind of walked it back like, oh yeah, you're right. I wouldn't have liked that.
And that's real. Like, and honestly, sometimes people,
but
even in real
problem with it.
Well, yeah, but even in real life, like, people don't give people the chance sometimes to get to know somebody.
Children.
Because they'll be against children, and rightfully so. If that's their prerogative, that's their prerogative. Because that happens in real life. However, she also has the right to wait a little bit. Maybe, I don't know how long the pods have, because time be.
They date literally
I don't know.
10 days.
Or
up to 10 days before they get engaged or something.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. I don't know how many. Okay, so that's what I was trying to figure out. I don't know how much time she let go by before she told him she has a kid, but she does have a right to be like, let me feel them.
It was like the second or third episode.
That's what I'm thinking. So I'm like,
been that many days.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was making it like, why didn't you tell me from the beginning? But then she said, why? Because I wanted to get to know you, wanted to see if we actually really matched.
You get to know me,
you get to know me as a person before you write me off as like just a mom. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I can understand
somebody else's child.
Yeah. So I definitely understand both sides. And Jimmy even revealed unto himself, like, you know what, you're right. I wouldn't have given you that chance. But honestly, it's not to blame Chelsea.
Jessica.
No, I'm talking about Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to go back to Chelsea.
Okay.
It's not to blame Chelsea. This is not blaming Chelsea. When she said she looked like Megan Fox.
You are still on there.
Because
matters. It does matter.
Because that was a catalyst for Jimmy. Jimmy, he wasn't really giving the girls all of him per se. But once that had got out the bag and he did his own little tiger cha-ching, he didn't do any more for Jessica. Like, I feel like that was a catalyst. That was an unchanging catalyst. And because of that, he wasn't able to give Jessica and him a fair shot. Yeah. Because that is what... And that
was like the baby on top of... Oh, well, she said she looked like Megan Fox and she's only just been married. You got a whole baby.
You got a baby.
She ain't got no kids. So we could travel. We could get up and travel. Look, he said we could travel every month. I said, that man got that...
Well, also,
tell me you got that bag without telling me you got that bag.
Yes, he got a bag.
But we can travel every month.
But also he was thinking like, he's like, you're a, because she's a flight attendant. Mm-hmm. So people have fantasies about flight attendants as well. Oh. You got to think about that. Like,
it's like everybody on Love is Blind be 30, 40. All the women be 30, 45% flight attendants. It was so refreshing to see.
No, they were like, it was a lot of bosses up in there. They were like managers and.
Jessica was like executive assistant.
But even still, like, to get to an executive assistant. You're not just like
doing the thing.
Yeah, like you're an executive assistant for a reason. So.
For somebody big. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that's why I had to look at where they were.
And like, she has to be paying for her upkeep and stuff because she's keeping herself together.
She was,
even though she had a baby at 18, so her snapback was probably like very nice. you know, she definitely had like little fillers and stuff, which she looks great. No, so you can't really.
But either way, like for her to have a kid at a younger age and still her kid is taken care of, she looks very well taken care of. She's an executive assistant. Like she been doing the damn thing by herself. So, and she said,
the dad is in the kid's life.
Yeah, so. But she said she had a positive relationship because it's not giving. She has this crazy baby daddy. She didn't say any crazy stories about like, oh my god, he's like, yeah. So she was very much. She has a child. Now, granted, a lot of dudes feel some type of way about raising another man's child because they be like, legacy. Like, child, this ain't no insurance, but. Like they be really feeling some type of way about like, you know, somebody having another man's child. Like, ooh, Lord. But I feel like that was a major. I'm not acting like her having a child wasn't a major factor. But the equally, if not more, major factor was Chelsea saying that she looked like Megan freaking Fox.
So why did you do that?
That's what I'm saying. And I said, baby girl, you don't even dress.
It was given, I'm trying to impress you. But we're not even supposed to be here for physical appearances.
And what does Sprinkle say? Don't be trying to impress a man.
Don't be trying to impress no man.
Because girl, you should be trying to impress yourself. Congratulations. You played yourself. Cheers. Like, cheers. And I felt so bad.
I feel bad for Trevor. Like, at the end of the day, I feel bad for Jessica and Trevor because Jessica really did love Jimmy.
She put it all out on the line.
And she was like, listen, I'm not here. Jessica was me. She's a Capricorn. I don't know if you knew she was a Capricorn, but Jessica is a Capricorn. She said that on the first or second episode. So I was like, oh my God, that's why I feel like I would like her because, you know, Leos and Capricorns usually get along. And she was just like, you know, I might be a little too much for you. I'm very direct. Like, and I was just like, I understand she's a strong woman. She knows what she wants. She's also a mother, so she's not just out here living for herself.
You can't be playing around.
Yeah, she's trying to get her family. She's trying to have her forever.
Also, she's trying to use this opportunity, what it's for. Like, if you're not serious about being married and taking that step forward, don't bring your butt onto this show.
Yeah. Like, let's move to a couple without so much drama.
Is there
a couple that had like a little bit more of a light-hearted Christian atmosphere that led with the Lord, and they made it to
black.
They made it to proposal.
He identifies as a black male.
Kenneth identifies as a black male. And I'm okay with that because one day all of this will fade, but my heart will remain. And I'm thinking to myself, girl, your white skin is not gonna fade. What are you talking about? Like, it's stuff like that, Brittany, with you that be having me very upset as a black woman, because Kenneth is, you could tell he's a good man. You could tell he has an open heart for you, Brittany, particularly. And I love, Brittany was so sweet. I love Brittany
she had that. Brittany had an open heart too.
Very sweet.
She was just saying like,
it was just like the way you say stuff. I really hope that she will, as a white woman in a relationship with a black man, and y'all are talking about marriage and kids and stuff, I hope that she will, because she did say she wanted to be led. I like that. I do hope she keep that same energy when it's time to be led about how to raise black children and how to also exist in a biracial relationship with a black man.
Biracial
because
girl.
I knew you was gonna be a shout out to that chick Angel because you love
biracial girl. As like you said, like as black people, we have definitely been always, and probably not just black people, but just in general, just minorities have always, through their parents, through, you know, family, have been taught to act a certain way so that you are perceived in a certain way, to be perceived in the best way. Because being perceived, quote unquote, in the better way is supposed to, quote unquote, prevent you from having any problems and possibly protecting you.
Yeah. I was trying to remember the other couple, Jeremy, that's his name. Because I'm like, who was Laura matched with? But it was Jeremy, the eccentric little quirky guy.
Child, Jeremy will get on her nerves.
Jeremy is going to get on, and she's already a boss. She has employees.
She said Jeremy was,
and she was like, Jeremy took the joke and
First of all, it was, wow. First of all, I never heard of it called bean. I never heard of that.
I heard of a titty snack because I'm in a sorority. But I was just like, I never heard of a called bean dip.
I said bean dip?
And
does this look like a bean to you?
Right.
And are you the dip?
Wait, dip? Where did that come from?
But I feel like
I never heard of that before.
I feel like the fact that because it was looking like it was about to get out of hand. It was looking like AD was like, hey girl, I don't play about that. Like, why would you do that in front of my man, in front of these people? Like, girl, I don't play about that.
And then she was like, well, obviously you and Jeremy had some type of disconnect because Jeremy brought it to me like, it's funny, but Jeremy meant it as a joke too. But I also think like,
it was inappropriate
with white people, they don't be bringing their humor. They just expect everybody to understand their personalized brand of humor. And I feel like AD took it to Laura like, okay, Jeremy thought you was serious, but actually Jeremy was meaning it as a joke the entire time. But we didn't know that until later on when Laura is like, I gotta talk to you. I got a bone to pick with you later. And he was like, it was a joke that got blown out of context, which I can see because of his playful nature.
Yeah, I think that it was I won't say it's the final straw for Laura. Was her name Laura?
Yeah, it's not the final
straw, but it was a major straw because
you see them in the bed the first night, they was all cuddled up like they've been together for forever. Just like, I just love you so much.
But no, I was actually going to say, I saw them cuddled up, child. But what I also saw was the montage of him being super extra
in the pool.
Being very juvenile in the pool.
She was over it.
Like, she was already over it. So, like, it basically...
What did she say? It's giving child care.
It's giving child care. She said, I don't got no kids. But it was like, and going back to what he had said about the joke, he knows what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And I felt like the fact that he would even verbally say
she told me to do that to you. Like, what?
No, it's very problematic and it's very telling. And that's why the shit blew up the way it did. Because if I'm talking to you as a joke, I would think that you, as a grown man, as a functioning human being, would not go and say to a woman
as she's sitting on her
fiance's lap to say like, oh, she told me to smack your boob. Like, it's very like, it's giving HR.
Don't do that, Jeremy.
It's giving HR. It's giving HR. Like, you're a functioning adult. I forgot what job I think he has tech something, whatever.
Of course, because they usually work very solitary.
But either way,
like, very to themselves.
That's what the problem that I was saying. Like,
he even said like, "Oh, I knew Laura was just trying to. She's gonna get me canceled." He even said that. So it's like even in you saying you could be canceled for saying it,
problematic,
and then you proceeded to proceed like, "Oh yeah, she wanted me to smack your boob."
The fact that first of all, you said something about being canceled. The fact that you knew it was going to be a problem if Laura heard it, even though you knew it was a joke. You acknowledged the fact that you knew it was a joke. You knew she was joking. But you still decided to verbally say it.
He tried to calm her down when she walked over.
Yeah, it's just as problematic as Jimmy saying, AD is stacked. I said, put the cards on the table.
No guy, period,
say that too.
That's out with his fiance.
Brand new girl.
And all these other couples that everybody's with somebody.
Like, it's one thing to say, dang.
Like, all of these women are beautiful. Or like, hey, they is so beautiful.
Because I hear couples like all the time talking about like, or not all the time, but I see couples like, I've heard couples like friends who are, or couples or like people online that say like, them and their boyfriend or girlfriend, they'll talk about like, ooh, that woman is fine. Like, ooh, look at her. Like, ooh, her body, she got a dunk. Da, da, da.
Because like, if you're out, I be thinking about that too. Like, if you're out, for me, if I'm out with a guy and we see somebody who's like just like head turning.
But I feel like that's a different level of trust. They haven't built that trust.
Yeah.
And because he's been giving her insecurity.
I know you saw her because I saw her too.
Yeah. So it's like he's been feeding her insecurity. He's been shifting the atmosphere, amen, into insecure atmosphere. And so he doesn't know her that well. This is maybe their second or third day being together in the sense of like finally being able to see each other, be together, be in each other's space. He ain't doing her no favors, and he ain't doing himself no favors. So for him to be like, she is stacked, and say it in a way that like it's not like, oh, we're in this together. Yeah. This is, you talk to me like I was some dude off the street. Like she shouldn't even. First of all, I thought Clay might have popped off because you just never know how that can go. Because like, why are you talking about my woman like that?
Yeah, I was looking for where was Clay during that whole.
Clay was over here looking for the ring that supposedly he's supposed to get at the end of the year.
He's looking online for gold
like, now you said I'm supposed to get a ring.
Like, babe, I like the Cartier one, the Louis Vuitton one, and Tiffany has a nice one, babe. I think I would like the Tiffany one, babe. Did you, when he got down on one knee, Clay was like, will you take my lovely hand? I'm like, aren't you supposed to say her hand is lovely? Clay said, I have a lovely hand
as
too.
Well.
I love that for them.
Now that you can see me,
they're gonna need his and hers
sinks.
They're gonna need his and hers closets, because I would never share a closet with Clay because his shit would probably swallow up my whole closet.
Have you ever been swallowed up? Oh, but I be swallowed up.
Oh my gosh,
child.
Fine. Yeah, for sure. I feel like the juiciness and the conversations are obviously Chelsea, Jimmy, AD, and Clay, and those people from the outskirts in the love triangle, Trevor, Jessica, and then also let's not forget now, Jeremy was dating another young lady before he picked Laura. Jeremy was dating Sarah Ann. Do you remember Sarah Ann?
Oh, yeah, because
he was like Asian American.
Yeah, because isn't that the one he guessed like, oh, is this Sarah? And she was like, no, and I thought he's like, I already know it's
Laura. But he was like, when he had his date with Sarah, he was like, I totally called her the girl your name, confidently with a smile. And I was like, I felt like him and Sarah, like they did have chemistry, like
they had sexual chemistry.
Right, but I'm saying like through the wall though, like it's
you know why you can have sexual chemistry? Because of your conversation.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Oh, they was talking about
the way and that's the thing about like.
So you feel like Sarah was coming on a little too strong with the flirty?
I wouldn't even say coming on strong. She's probably just being herself.
Yeah, she said she's a very confident person.
Yeah, but unfortunately, how men will have conversations with women. And different conversations will give them different vibes about how they feel about you, about that woman.
Right.
Looking at his character from the from the honeymoon, pre-honeymoon, whatever you want to call it, like him being more silly, more, it might pair well with her because their relationship was more of a fun, playful, flirty. Because he even said like, "Oh, I'm sexually attracted to you," or something like sexual attention.
I feel like maybe she just didn't give herself the opportunity.
It's the OnlyFans
to be more. Oh, the OnlyFans joke.
I think
she was joking. She was like, "Yeah, I just started it not too long ago." And she was like, "I'm just joking."
Oh, she was just joking.
I was gonna say, did you look at that?
Because I think like my perception was like her being so like sexually free, whatever, and he was kikiing with her all that time, doing all that stuff and ready to sexually say all the things,
right?
But then he chose old girl talking about family and da.
Yeah.
So I thought she really had an OnlyFans, but she had a lot of Instagram followers.
Oh, did she? 8,000.
Yeah, and he was
8,000.
The crazy thing is that he was like,
she had like 31 on TikTok though, 31,000.
Either way, like it didn't work for her benefit.
Right.
The OnlyFans joke didn't work for her benefit.
Correct.
Her being and then her talking about
correct.
It didn't work for her benefit, and it's just unfortunate because again, like he engaged in those conversations with her, was kikiing it up, saying I'm turned on, or he said something like that to her, and when they were talking, he didn't say that to was it Sarah? Laura. Because
Sarah Ann is the one with the followers.
Okay, Laura. He didn't say that to Laura.
The one that he picked.
Yeah. So he didn't say that to Laura because their conversation was different.
They're different though. Like Sarah Ann and Laura is like day and night. Sarah Ann, she gives me party girl. She gives me shot o'clock. She gives me.
But the crazy thing is, like he was doing the absolute that's why I think like when
he's so playful. But I feel like Laura was like, okay, that's all cute and all, but I'm looking for a real man who's about to settle down, take me to your family's house on Christmas. We need to do this.
And he said, and he was like, I feel like the life he wants to live is with
Laura. Girl.
That's what I was like, ooh, Chile. I think the life or the person that he wants to be is probably with Laura.
Shout out to Laura too, because in the women's quarters, Laura was me. Because Laura went over there to Jessica. As soon as Chelsea told her, Jimmy told me he loved me. This is not your man. No. It was like Whoopi Goldberg on Ghost. You in danger, girl. You in danger, girl. What was her name? On Ghost? She was like, Laura, you are a real one for that. And you tried to say Jessica, like, go ahead, just go home.
Go ahead, go home.
Just go home, girl. Don't worry about no breakup. Like, this not your man.
Child, the way
this is not your man.
Immediately, she was like,
gotta look out for sis, which I understand. You had to look out for sis.
Girl is literally gave him the letter that she wrote to her future husband.
And he was like, I can't give you what I think you want to hear on this.
And the only reason why?
But I'm glad I got
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. I swear. So, yes.
So, yeah.
Overall, like, this has been a juicy, explosive season already. And we haven't even got to the part where the rest of the cast reunites.
Listen.
And the pot.
Listen. And I just know I could. First of all, let's get back to Jessica. When Jessica read him for filth after she learned, and she said, "You're gonna
see
gag.
What you missed out on.
Choke. You're gonna need your EpiPen when
you're gonna need your EpiPen.
I was like, go off
to revive you.
Go
off, girl, because his jaw is gonna be on the concrete.
Child,
you hear me?
He's talking about. He worried about Megan Fox over there.
He missed Megan Fox. She missed out on Megan Fox.
Pretty.
Guess what? I'm happy for Jessica though, because at the end of the day, I know hopefully she do not try to talk back to Jimmy, because we did see some previews at the end. Because
then Chelsea was like,
I know you fucked it up. I was just like, oh my God. Okay, no judgment though. If something did happen, but I know you're not gonna stay with him though. Even if you did do something, I know you're not gonna be with him because that dude, he did not choose you.
No.
And after this show, your DMs is gonna be flooded with the real men. Okay.
Child, this is the thing.
Her DMs is about to be.
First of all, Trevor's DMs are gonna be
Trevor's DMs.
Because I was like, am I gonna slide in the DM? I said, she was that big old strong man.
That big old strong man.
Did you see his legs?
You still talking about his legs?
Cause people be skipping out on leg day.
Not me.
People be skipping out on leg day.
You can't skip leg day. You look like a chicken out here.
But I just think that it was just so funny because even when they got to the pre honeymoon, whatever you want to call it, because I don't know what they're calling it, but when they got to that travel thing, little vacation thing, right? And again, Chelsea's feeling insecure, so she's like, "Are you so happy that you chose when they're on the thing?" And she was like, "So what's your type normally?" And he's like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah."
He did not want to say.
He didn't want to say.
It wasn't you.
Listen, but this is what I'm getting to.
Because if it was you, he would have been like, "Oh yeah, you're a type."
Yeah, but what I'm getting to is when she asked her what her type was, and her type
was muscular.
And
Jimmy know that already off rip in the back of his mind. That's why I feel like that was a defense mechanism for him to be at the beach that night. Oh, we're doing phenomenal. Yeah. Phenomenal. Couldn't ask for better. Absolutely amazing.
Meanwhile,
I bragged on you to
Clay.
I bragged on you to Johnny. I bragged on you to Jeremy.
Who you trying to marry you?
Right. It was like he was giving Who are you trying to convince?
Yes, me or you.
Okay.
You talking about y'all, that's the love of your life. Your love of your life is crying in the corner, in the back.
Right.
She's alone.
Allegedly.
It's not even alleged. She was like, did you know that I was by myself? And I'm
so uncomfortable.
So that's why
that fight in the last scene, was it episode 6? Or was it that fight in the room after the beach?
She did that. She did it to herself.
And the way she was like, just take it. And then she sat on the thing and she was like, I love you. I was like, this bitch is crazy.
Oh no.
I knew she was crazy. I knew she was crazy. But you know, me.
I said, look, I said, what is
it? Might be the sprinkle. I don't know.
But she just said it's huge.
Trump voice. It was like a Trump voice. Oh Lord.
I just
huge.
First of all,
I was like, first of all, what is he? Different women have different
levels of
but huge though is huge. You can't say huge.
And she didn't say huge. She
didn't say huge.
Huge.
With the whole, what's the thing called? The blow pen, the blow horn.
Yeah.
She said it over a microphone, like huge. Like I was like, damn girl, was it a lights out can? What was
giving?
No, it wasn't. Girl, she was saying like deathly.
Child. It was a lot going on.
I was like, wait a minute though.
But this is the thing. There's so many things that I feel
not that I don't believe it, but
no, because he has been. He was giving. He was giving that energy. That's why he's playing.
I'm like, that's why you playing games because it's something about you. You know you're gonna be able to pull the women. He's like the money. You get them through the door with the money because you can pay for the dates and everything.
I knew something was up. That first of all, he definitely date black girls.
He got some black extras.
He done
because somebody helped put you on.
First of all, it's the haircut alone,
and it was the dunks too.
What's the haircut? Yeah, it was like he was wearing
Jordans.
His style was
those type of Jordans. You got an ex name Keisha or Carmen,
and then when he said
something,
hey, this that, I said, excuse me, sir.
First of all, you thought that was okay. How many drinks did you have?
First, you know the
open bar was opening. It was opening.
You know they put them people with them drinks, and he was drinking them.
One thing Love is Blind has no shortage of is alcohol.
They said, got drinks, we drunk them. And listen, they were doing all the drinks because he was looking a little creepy when he was like all up in 80, like, yeah.
But the conversation, when they did have the conversation, wait. Chelsea tried to say Jimmy spun AD around. Did he spin her around?
I don't remember.
That's why I was gonna run it back.
But I will say because AD had. This is the thing. Because Chelsea, I guess out of insecurity, she said she was like she felt embarrassed, so she tried to like call AD's body out, bring more attention to him. I'm like, girl, that's not what you do.
Girl, that is not what you do.
You need to be able to. Child trying to keep calm, but she was like, I guess she freaked out.
You could have just laughed.
She was like, first of all, you would have just
like, hey, AD, where'd you get that?
Yeah, she was like, girl, where'd you get that? I said, girl. Chelsea hyped her up like a girlfriend would. Therefore, AD was like, yeah. She got hyped up and whatever. So I don't think he turned around. I think she did all the things. I can't remember.
That's when they were still apart. But there was a time where AD came over and Jimmy and AD had a conversation.
Yeah, but I don't remember her like turning her body around.
Yeah, I don't remember her either.
I think that any type of her body, that's what I'm getting, like, I think her body movement that she did, like the little whatever.
I think she was just kind of, Chelsea was just in her head and just
because Chelsea called when they were together in their suite, like that whole time. She hasn't been feeling the quote unquote chosen part. Like
that's because you with the wrong one, girl.
Because you chose wrong.
You chose wrong. You and Jimmy, y'all was in Delulu together. Y'all codependency level styles are so matchy. It's scary, and I feel bad for y'all because y'all really missed out on some really good people. I really feel like with Jimmy and Jessica could have whipped that thing into shape. Whipped them like a slave now. Not like a slave, but you know.
I like no whips and chains.
Right. Girl, but we gotta wrap it up though.
Yes.
Because this video is already getting long. I was trying to do the counting, but I forgot to keep track.
I wasn't worried about it because
and we're here. So Thank you again for just being on the
I'm
show.
glad I got to pop up and speak my piece.
Will you come back for a part 2, possibly?
You know what? I believe so. I believe that I will, because I know that the show is going to be showing foolishness.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of stuff that came up in the preview, so we're going to see some arguments.
So
we're gonna
much.
see. I pray that Kenneth
We might
and
need something stronger than this wine.
yeah,
for the next
child.
one, some cocktails.
because it's giving. We need some type of yak. No, I'm just
Right.
kidding.
Lord, look, how was Chelsea pouring that vodka? I need something to check the edge off. That was not wine. That was vodka.
She poured
or
that.
tequila.
She poured a lot of tequila. It was like tequila. She poured a lot in that thing. But either way, from
I'm
the
like, girl,
previews,
that's like when I get off work, girl.
there's a lot of things happening. We finally listen. The real Megan Fox pops up.
Girl, let the Megan Fox thing go.
I'm not letting it go because why?
Like, why? She
Jimmy
didn't
didn't
let it
let
go
it-
in the pod.
Jimmy didn't let it go.
Jimmy never let it go.
Jimmy didn't let it go.
Jimmy is like, she lied to me about how she looked.
That's
She
the
lied
fact
to
that he
me.
was like, she lied. First of all, my mom even pointed it out. He took the longest time to propose and put that ring on her finger.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing
Weird.
about it is, we're gonna see so much more unfold.
Yes.
From the previews,
Next
it
week,
looks crazy.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. Stay tuned.
Oh, stay tuned. Thank
Make
you so
comments
much.
about what was the thing that took you out. Like,
Yeah.
who said what that really had you grasping for your pearl.
For your pearls. And don't forget to like this video
And subscribe.
and follow us on our social media channels. I will link them in the description. At Fallyberry and at amfrancis_.
Yes.
Until next time.
Until next time. Switches.